What is up, everybody? This is Carbon Live Old Games, and let's address this right now. I'm wearing my girlfriend's sock monkey hat because I don't know where my hat is, and I got a fucking mullet right now. So, this week, hold on. This week, well, the next 12 days is going to be labeled Hype Week for Mortal Kombat X. And obviously, I'm going to kick it off by reviewing the great Mortal Kombat. I have hard copies of every single Mortal Kombat. I'm not going to do Special Forces, Mythologies, or Shaolin Monks, even though I should, because Shaolin Monks is fucking great. And I probably should do Special Forces, because there's a lot of Special Forces influence going into MKX. But anyways, I digress. We're doing just the fighting games. And obviously I'm going to start with Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 is a classic. Many have regarded it as the reason that we have the ESRB. I would, however, go further and say that it was Mortal Kombat 2, because there is no ESRB rating on this one or 2, but there is on 3. And what you got to know about me is that my childhood post-adoption... I know you can't see this shit really well in the background. When I start playing, I'll fix it so you can see what's going on. You don't have to see this sock monkey face. But, yeah. 3 things about my childhood post-adoption you have to know. It consisted of these things. Disappearing on my bike for extended amounts of time. Yes, we were allowed to do that. We weren't afraid of diddlers everywhere. My friends, Brian, Nate, Fabian, and my cousin Jay, and Mortal Kombat. Usually in that order, because I would have to disappear to a friend's house to play Mortal Kombat. Because guess what, kids? Back in the day, our parents actually gave a shit and monitored what we did. When it came to terms of media. My mom used to listen to CDs before I could listen to them. My mom used to watch movies before I could watch them. And my mom did what parents should do, but they don't. And that's watch the news or ask another person who actually plays video games that was an adult about games to see if they were appropriate for me and my sisters to play. They deemed Mortal Kombat not appropriate, but they did it too late, however, because we used to have these places. They were called Blockbusters. You could go there and pay $5 and rent a game for an entire week. My mom let me rent Mortal Kombat before she looked into it. I ended up renting that game for 3 weeks. And then my mom finally found out what it was and was like, you're returning it. But lo and behold, my friend Fabian had Mortal Kombat, and he lived right behind me, so I would cut across the woods to his fucking house, and we would play Mortal Kombat to break it down. Well, usually until around 6 when his parents told me I had to go home. But I basically lived at his house, so it doesn't matter. I played so much Mortal Kombat there, and I'll get into it more with the other Mortal Kombats, because I'd say that our Mortal Kombat friendship with all my friends extended all the way till 3, Ultimate 3, really. So, Mortal Kombat 1 was actually supposed to be a game about Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it fell through, and we have Mortal Kombat. I assume the leftover for that was where Johnny Cage came from. Ooh, it's bright. But anyways, Mortal Kombat was groundbreaking, not in the sense that it was a fighting game, because there were other fighting games out at the time. It was just the most violent one, and it was the most realistic violent one at the time. And I'll show you the one fatality that fucking sparked the whole outrage. But Mortal Kombat, it's not easy to go back to now. I mean, if you're not my age and consistently playing it, I've actually gotten into an argument with somebody on here before. Mortal Kombat's not an easy game to go back to, and they were like, why would you put this garbage in your top 5? I put it in top 5 for something, Mortal Kombat 2. You don't understand. You younger people don't understand, because we used to have these things called, say it with me, arcades back in the day, where you couldn't sit there and call the person you were playing against a faggot, because they could punch you in the face because they were an elbow away from you. Which I used to love, by the way. This is why I don't like playing games online, because half of you people who shouldn't even be online playing games, you ruin it for everybody else. I used to love going to arcades. Any arcade I found back when I was younger, even into adulthood, if I've seen anywhere with an arcade, the first thing I look for is a Mortal Kombat machine. Mortal Kombat 1, because there's nothing like doing Sub-Zero's fatality, the head rip fatality. That's the one that really, that made the news. There was nothing like doing that fatality on somebody, because not only did you take away their pride after you beat them, you ripped their head off, so it was humiliation, and you took their fucking quarter, which was great. So let's get in here, let's do one, because I think I'm going to run out of memory on this. So let's do Sub-Zero. Oh. That's better. Yeah, it's going to go bright again. I'm going to have to do it. Watch. I'm going to lose my double flawless that I should be getting. Nope, you're good. Whoa. Oh, come on. I literally just got a double flawless when I was like, all right, let's get in here so I don't look like a fucking scrub. Sub-Zero wins. I remember the first time I saw Sub-Zero ripping someone's head off at an arcade cabinet while I was a kid. Oh my fucking god. And you know what? I haven't killed anybody. I haven't been to jail. I barely even fought anybody in my life. So you can't blame violent games because I grew up on this shit. Oh! That was it. Back in the day, people flipped the fuck out about it. It doesn't look like shit now, but man, when I was a kid, that was like, oh my god, my fucking face melted. I think I popped my first boner. Well, that sounds horrible, like a murder boner. No. But Mortal Kombat was my shit, and it started this thing that was so little, and it was digitized characters, and there was barely any programmers on it. And essentially, you could look at Mortal Kombat 1, and the fact that it came out from Midway, which was a huge arcade company at the time, but if you take the studio that made it, the equivalent of it today would be an indie game. Mortal Kombat, in my days, was an indie game. However, pretty much everything that came out in my days, by today's standard, would be considered an indie game. But there was just a few, like a handful of fucking people that made this thing come to life to what it is today. The fact that I'm sitting here as an adult, 30 years old, in a sock monkey hat, a Zelda shirt, in front of a TV. I got 2 kids asleep, which I'm probably going to wake up because I'm so fucking hyped up. Just this handful of people that made this game that looks like shit today that you kids stomp on whenever I do a video about it has blown up into this. Is fucking insane. I love Mortal Kombat with such passion, and it all started with this one. I can't sit here and tell you that this was the greatest game of all time, but I can sit here and tell you that ABACABB is stuck in my brain like you wouldn't believe. Dullard, down, up, left, right, A, right, down. That gets you debug code. That shit's burned in my brain forever. Do you understand that? I can do that in Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3. I can do that in Mortal Kombat 4. I can do that with... I'm getting excited because I got them all out here. But I'm telling you, like, it's not the greatest game of all time. But it started. This was the beginning, the foundation of what we are so excited for as gamers that comes out in 14 days. Thank you guys for watching.